Okay, this is lesson 10, distance on a coordinate plane. So in the opening exercise, we're going to find the distance between the 2 points using the Pythagorean theorem. So step number 1 is to create a right triangle using 2 points. So here we have points A and B. So we're going to do that first, doing this. So here we go. So first we're going to draw a line down here. And we're going to draw a line from A over to the other point. And what that does is that creates that 90-degree angle. So now step number 2 says label the hypotenuse. So our hypotenuse is C. And then it says label the legs with an A and a B. So here is A and here is B. Okay. So step 3 says find the distance in units exact into the nearest tenth. Okay. So in doing that, our distance for A is going to be 3. And if you notice here, our distance for B is from here to here, which is going to be 6. So now to find that, guys. All right, to find that now, we've got 3 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. So we have 9 plus 36 equals C squared, which is 45 equals C squared. So to take the square root of both of those, we have C equals the square root of 45. And to simplify that, to be exact, we've got 9 times 5. So that would be 3 square root of 5. So now, to give the approximate answer to the nearest tenth, when we multiply that out, we would have approximately 6.70820. 3932, rounded to the nearest tenth, would be 6.7. So the next thing that we're going to do, it says, is the triangle formed by points A, B, and C a right triangle? We need to figure that out. So in order to do that, we're going to look at this, okay? And when we draw our connecting points here, okay, and we connect these, sorry, that should be a little straighter, guys, but okay. All right, so when I connect these, the first thing I have to do, because it's not a solid triangle here, what I am going to do is I'm going to draw a line down here. This is 1 and this is 3. So what I am going to do here is I am going to put this first, and I am going to make this, figure out what this first triangle is. So, and make sure that that is a right triangle. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So 1 squared plus 3 squared equals C squared. So 1 plus 9 equals C squared. So 10 equals C squared. So C equals square root of 10. So this side right here is the square root of 10. So now, because I found that side, the rest of this is going to be 9 units. And I'm going to try and find this side right here. So trying to find that now, we have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And then, oops, sorry, this is 9, not A. I apologize. There we go. Let's fix that. We got 9. So now we have 9 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. So now we have 81 plus 9 equals c squared. So here we have 90 equals c squared, taking the square root of both of those. I have c equals square root of 90. Now to see if this whole thing is a right triangle then, we are going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, because, excuse me, this is going to be equals the square root of 90, because this whole thing here then is now 10. So now we have the square root of 10. Oops, sorry. Let me fix that. So now we have the square root of 10 squared, because that's a squared, plus b squared, which is the square root of 90 squared, equaling ten squared, which is our c squared. Okay? Well, remember what I said. If it's a square root and it's squared, it's just that number. So now we've got 10 plus 90, and 10 squared is 100. Well, 10 plus 90 is 100. Does that equal 100? Well, yes, it does. Therefore, this triangle is a right triangle. Okay, so next we have, for example 2, it says, from the above problem, we see that you can measure the horizontal distance between the points and the vertical distance between the points, and then use the Pythagorean theorem. So in other words, c squared equals the horizontal distance squared plus the vertical distance squared, and c equals the square root of that. So our distance formula, and this is what you need to know, okay, and I'm going to underline that and actually box it in a nice pretty color here, is this. And you need to know that, okay? So that is our distance formula, and we use that to find the distance between 2 points, okay? So for example, in this instance, to find the distance between 2 points, and notice this is our x-axis, here's our y-axis. So our point here is 2, 1, and our point here is 5, 5. So to find our distance here, we would say d equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Now we replace. So we say the square root of five minus 2 squared plus 5 minus 1 squared, which equals square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared, which equals the square root of 9 plus 16 equals the square root of 25, which equals 5 units. And just making sure, I believe that ends our lesson. And that ends our lesson.